Finna to that bitch and test I best. Now me talking out your neck on the spread dots. Guess now you talking all that gun shit is bullshit. Headshot, nigga, flat line on the black top. 6 feet, my deep with my dogs. Shadow grace, freezing boys at the fall. All these kids been my sons, I'm not involved. The John Kitty tree is where I let them fall.
Turn back, snap back, here with the headphones. Quiet on the outside, bitch, I ain't been gone. Bitches like you got me stuck in the friend zone. Don't expect retaliation, motherfucker, you damn wrong. Fool, motherfucker, you a fool, motherfucker. Keep talking and I'll put you in the news, motherfucker. You a cool motherfucker, you a soul motherfucker. Now you want a shirt, put you in a suit, motherfucker. Look, all your little friends, man, they tell me you so fly. Bitch, I got this 4-5, you gotta show life. See a plain as day, little bitch, cause you gon' fight. Hit him from the back with that 4-5, you know style. Man, I'm quiet, stand alone with the stout. Got a couple empty hands and I'm holding them out. You be chillin' with your mans, all you know is the clout. I hear another smart remarking, bitch, I'm joking you out, yeah.
Finna to that bitch and test I best. Now me talking out your neck on the spread dots. Guess now you talking all that gun shit is bullshit. Headshot, nigga, flat line on the black top. 6 feet, my deep with my dogs. Shadow grace, freezing boys at the fall. All these kids been my sons, I'm not involved. The John Kitty tree is where I let
Put
them
your
fall.
ass in the surf, making mama cry. Bitch, I put in work and I'm trying to stay alive. You fucking with the turf, I ain't hard to find. It's FPE, bitch, I'm on the motherfucking grind. Come on, I hear you running that over the shoulder boner holder. I'm never sober, but moving them like a locomotive. I thought I told you, your boy be giving the Cody shoulders. I leave you grounded like Folgers, cause I got no control of my mind. My head be spinning and doing the backflips. I'm pretty certain on a perk that I make a bitch fold like a mattress. See popping y'all like a bag zit. I don't want to get y'all have it. Bring it top, please take a top me, and I'ma leave that bitch with a hat trick. See, don't mind me, I'm zoning. I'm blowing weed and open. My mental's fully broken. I'm about to lose control and
To that bitch and test I best. Now me talking out your neck on the spread dots. Guess now you talking all that gun shit is bullshit. Headshot, nigga, flat line on the black top. 6 feet, my deep with my dogs. Shadow grace, freezing boys at the fall. All these kids been my sons, I'm not involved. The John Kitty tree is where I let them fall.
Was I totally muted that whole time? My bad, guys. I did stuff a little bit differently than I normally do on the app that we use. Welcome to the Cody Live show. I'm Cody, by the way, if you didn't know. We got a couple of special guests tonight. Tonight we're going to be discussing the word leap. I've been using this word a lot lately. Artists know what the fuck a leap is. I mean, that's kind of just how it is. You just know what the fuck it is. We have a couple special guests in the building tonight. Chad will not be joining us. If he does, it's going to be later. He's on his old man shit again. Warm milk before bed. I guess it came at 10:25 tonight. We're going to introduce him, though. Jake's going to be joining in also, and possibly Alex from Agatha Hag. Right now, we got two with us. First off, we got one half of hallowGrave. It's an underground group. Check them out. You guys know BBG by the song that just played. He's on it. This is Young K to everybody. What's good?
What's up? What's up?
I was going to say, could you hear me? Am I still on mute?
No, yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. I was just making sure. Tell everybody what you're about, man. Tell them, about the hallowGrave, what you guys got going on and shit, and, upcoming projects.
Pretty much, I mean, not much to say about like projects yet. Like we're on some sneaky shit right now. So I can't really say too much about that, but I will say that we have an EP coming out, and that's as much as I'll say about that. But yeah, I mean,
Hell yeah.
hallowGrave just started like with me and Dustin 10 years ago, but it wasn't hallowGrave 10 years ago. 10 years ago, it was us rap battling on Facebook in the comment section.
No shit.
So,
I did not know that.
I don't know. He hit me up some months ago. Yeah, like a year ago, dude. He hit me up when we both had got out of the joint and was like, "Do you still rap?" Because we hadn't talked in like 5-6 years. We just went separate ways. It wasn't no fallout, but and I was like, "Yeah, of course." And he's like, "Shit, me too." And then from there, we just started building. And I was like, "Yo," I pitched him an idea, and he was like, "Yo, I like what that's about." And then we just linked it up.
Hell yeah. Our other guest right now, Jake's showing up soon. I just messaged him. We got somebody who's known to the show. He's been on a few times in a really kick-ass fucking group. He's one half of the Bio Killaz. It's my boy Sinna. What is happening?
What up?
Nah, shit. What you guys got coming up? Tell the people what you guys got coming up real quick.
We got a couple shows coming up in the next few weeks. I don't know. We got the one in Morenci on the 21st. And then we got the big festival in Hillsdale at the end of the month. Or next month, rather. We're working on all sorts of projects, man. We just released our Bastards of Rap album back in October.
Great album. Check that shit out.
Yeah, appreciate that. We got a bunch of shit in the works, you know. I got that shit going down. I got another group project that is all recorded. I got to start mixing and mastering. I just got done mixing up Mandy's EP that she's dropping. That's going to be dope. That's dropping next Friday.
The mixing on that video preview that she posted, I was like, God damn. It's like the effect on it. I was like, that's fucking sick.
Oh, yeah. Wait till you hear the hook, man. I put in some work on that shit. I made the beat, too. I did all the production on her albums.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And, well, actually, this fucking goofball actually showed up fashionably late. What is happening, Jake?
I thought it was starting at 10:30.
It's 10:34.
It is 10:29 according to my computer.
Oh, I don't know.
From the future.
However, my phone disagrees and says it is 10:34.
Tell the people what you got going on, Jake. I'm kind of letting people introduce themselves. Jake's a regular to the show, too, if you've never tuned in. I know we got some new people tuning in tonight, though, that just found out about the cast and stuff. So let people know who you are.
My name's Jacob. I'm a beatboxer and a guitar player, which people seem to forget the second one. I have an EP out called Beatbox Metal, and I am working on material for Beatbox Metal 2.
Hey, and before y'all get too curious, I got this bitch signed last night.
Yep.
Jake and Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Literally, the physical copies of these.
Oh, sick comics.
Yeah, I know. The physical copies of these, if you see these guys at a show, if you see Kool-Aid normally takes them to shows, right?
Yeah.
If you see Kool-Aid at shows, pick this up, especially this copy. This copy is how he met Jake, and it is fucking amazing. Like, just having it physically is so much different than seeing it online. And Kool-Aid, we need to get Kool-Aid back on the show here soon, too.
Want me to message him?
Hey,
Yeah,
I
if
was
you
really
want to,
digging
you can
dude's
do it.
set last night, too, man.
Yeah, also, that was a great set last night. Yeah, that was dope. Last night, every fucking set, pretty much. I mean, there was a couple that were but just not my cup of tea. But for the most part, that whole show was booming. It was kind of weird. It was kind of nostalgia for me because I used to perform in Toledo all the time, and like literally probably 15 people knew me when I was like 16 years old. And they're like, "Hi's?" I'm like, "Well, Cody, but yes." What's up, man? I hit puberty since you seen me last. But we'll get into the discussion for the night. I don't know. I don't think I sent you guys the topic besides Saint. Tonight's topic is leap. You guys all know what leaping is, right?
No.
No. But you do. You
Like
do
an
know that
artist
floor
leap?
slide that's in the comic.
What? I'm sorry.
You do know that floor slide that was in the comic that you got to do live. I got to see that shit.
Yeah, I should do that. I think
That would be fucking amazing.
I think that would be very entertaining.
Yep, you'd have to have the right stage. Don't be doing that on carpet. That fucking.
Ow.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna find that real quick because I was giving him shit. I'm like, he's like, yeah, it's all based on true. I'm like, so really, you like slid across the stage like that? He's like, oh no.
That's the only fictional part. We were on top of a moving train. It was all real. Yeah.
Oh,
that's good.
We'll get into the first topic of discussion tonight with Leap. Most artists know what Leap is. It's where you fucking basically, it's all or nothing, all in. You're playing all your cards, and that's that.
that leap of faith.
And a big part of team building, or a big part of leaping is team building. In my mind, I mean, you got to have the right team behind you in order to make that leap. Otherwise, you're probably gonna fall right on your fucking face. Let's be honest here. If you don't have trustworthy people behind you, it's kind of hard to go any further. But just how it is. I was gonna ask like the details of team building, developing a team. You know, what do you look for when you're looking for people to build around your product? You know, to push your product, to anything like a hype man. You know, somebody that is on stage with you, or maybe you got a band. What do you look for in members of that? We'll start with you, Jordan.
First of all, dedication and like you got to be serious, man, because I mean, just since me and Dustin started hallowGrave, there's been hella people that they want to do this, and we be giving motherfuckers chances, but they're dead weight every time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like
I think another big one to add onto that
like is you got to be about it, bro. Like if you're not about it, like we can't take a leap and then have someone that's claiming they want to be part of the team not leap with us. That's just gonna be dead weight. It's gonna hold us back. So like
I totally agree.
And it's hard to find people that are persistent like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you get a lot of those people, like from my experience, you get a lot of those people that they're all about the product at first. If you're booming, like I'll just give an example, like Double XL, when I had that hype or whatever going on, people wanted to be a part of it. But once that started fading out, you saw some of those same people fading out with it. And you can't have that. You got to push it. Yeah. Like you were in that fucking magazine yesterday.
Like what they say, seasons and friends.
Yeah. Yeah. You almost got to build friendship. It's almost got to be a friendship, like a business friendship, but a friendship on the side. Like you got to like the people around you. You got to trust them. What about you, Say? What do you look for?
Yeah, there's got to be mutual trust and respect. Man.
What do you look for when you look for like team building, like somebody to add to your team?
They gotta have the strengths that I don't have. You know what I mean? Like you gotta have people that are bringing something to the circle. That way, it's all an ecosystem that everybody benefits together. You know what I mean?
Right.
And obviously, dedication comes into that. You know, if people aren't really about it, they're gonna drop off quick. It always happens that way. You know what I mean? Yep. And unfortunately, it takes fucking money to make money in this shit, and you got to make money to fucking continue it on a serious fashion without having to resort back to working for somebody. You know what I mean? Like
right. And that's one of those things. Dedication. A lot of people just don't have it. Like at first they do, like I said, and then they fall off once something doesn't go right. Then all of a sudden the world's falling apart, and then you know you got somebody you put in a role that's not doing their job, and it's almost like a workplace at that point. Jake, what about you? Building a team building. What do you look for as far as surrounding yourself with people to call yourself a team?
I want people who care enough about me to be fully honest. If my set or what I've been doing lately, anything, if it sucks, I want to know about it, and I want to know why, where you think the improvement should be. I don't want to hear that you think I'm great all the time because you can't beatbox like
that yes man shit doesn't get results. You know what I mean? It's even if it's like you just saw my set, there's some kind of a small annoyance when that's all you have to say to me. Is, oh, your set was so great, I can't believe, how do you do that? I get the same fucking questions every time. How do you do that with your mouth? I had the best one was I had this little 6-year-old little girl come up to me and like, does that make your mouth hurt? Fuck yeah.
But
Oh
yeah, like I want to know what would make a set more engaging to you. I want criticism. I want what you think could be better.
Right.
And I also want you to actually give a shit about me as a person.
Right. And I found out, like, I got people in my, entourage and stuff that I roll with. I mean, we got several bands and shit, you know what I'm saying, that we hang out with pretty much every weekend, And, like, don't particularly like hip-hop. And they're honest with me. Hey, I don't like your stage show, which is cool. But they give me pointers from that genre that might, trigger somebody else from that genre to like it. So it's like that kind of honesty. I'd rather have that than somebody like, yeah, dude, your album was good. That was awesome. Like, tell me what's bad about it. I don't want to hear that it's awesome all the fucking time. I mean, it's nice, but if you can't give me, there's something. Me and Dustin were talking about that on the way home last night. Deadshot, he's like, there was a certain part in his hook he didn't like. And it's like, but everybody's like, oh, dude, that's fucking badass. But, there's always a flaw in everything that you do. Nothing ever comes out perfect. You could point out, if you got 14 songs, I know I got my favorite artists. Like, I could tell you an Eminem song I don't like. That's one of my favorite artists, but I could tell you I don't like this song. A lot of people are just yes men about it, though. They're, their favorite artists. They're just like, yeah, that's fucking awesome. And I think it's important to have those type of people around you too that are very honest with you. You have an off night. Hey, what's going on? Trustworthiness, that's huge, especially when it comes to money, because I know how that shit goes. I had one instance where I had a chick who I didn't really know. It was just one of the band members' fucking girlfriends. They've been dating for like 5 months, and I didn't see none of my merch money at the end of it. I was like, man, yep, I learned my lesson on that shit, and that's a big thing. Dedication. I think dedication and trust are two big things when it comes to that.
Yeah, for sure.
It kind of brings us up to the next topic. Well, speaking of money, it's kind of a crazy question, just kind of throwing it out there. We're all kind of on budgets. We all, live the daily life where we got to work the 40 hours a week, and we make time for our craft. Some of us have families or other shit going on, and it's kind of some food for thought also. If you had 10 times the budget that you currently have now, what would you do with it? And we'll start with you, Jordan.
So you have to plan. Fund a tour. Yeah, fund a tour. Probably try to branch out more, like, because right now, like you said, we're just working the 40 hours and shit. I want to be in charge of myself. Like, I want to run an independent. I don't want to sign no papers. I don't want to clock in, none of that shit. So I would invest my 10,000 into touring and merch.
I feel it.
And probably collaborations if the vibe's right, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just gonna collab with anybody, because that's how you get a fucked up song.
Right. I feel it. What about you, Sam? If you had 10 times the budget that you currently have, how would you spend that? How would you go about it?
Probably half of it alone I would put into advertising. Meta ads, well, Facebook, Instagram especially. That's huge for promoting. I've learned quite a bit about that end of the shit. I don't know about recent, because I like co-owned a cosmetics brand with my wife, and we ran ads on that, so I got to learn all that shit. So hopefully it hasn't changed too much, but yeah, I would definitely invest a lot into that. More camera equipment and lighting to keep the visuals. Visuals is where you're gonna engage the most. You know what I mean?
Right.
So mainly I'd put it all towards advertising, because honestly I've got everything I need equipment wise. Like, I can honestly say that I'm good there.
Right, just more so upgrading, and that's kind of smart too, because in the end, when you have that, whatever the 10 times your budget is, you're actually saving by learning to do shit yourself, being self-sufficient with it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you also have it so if you get too busy, you could pay, you know, an outsider to come
Yeah.
in.
Sometimes that little bit of peace and a little bit of your own personal time back is a big thing. Like I was doing a shit ton of client work on top of working on my shit and working a full-time job all at once, and it got to the point where it was too much. You know what I mean? I got burnt out and I couldn't get anything. Like I had like a permanent ear fatigue. Like just even sitting down to try and mix anybody's shit was just excruciating. I was tapped out.
Right. I feel it. That's when we started doing merch by ourselves. It was just too much. It was too much added to our plate at once, and I get it. Like going to the outside source, it's sometimes beneficial.
Yeah.
What about you, Jake? If you had 10 times the budget that you currently have now, what would you do with it? How would you spend it?
I would retire. No, I would definitely advertising. I would advertise the fuck out of myself. Facebook, Instagram, everything. I would pay for advertising wherever I could. I would also use it for gas and motel or hotel rooms and go all over the country, busking on street corners and finding every open mic that I could and trying to connect that way. And any shows that I might get off of that, you'll go to as many of them as I could possibly do, say yes to as many of them as I could, and also go to ones I'm not playing at. Talk to people.
Just to connect, basically travel the world with it, fucking at least the country.
Yeah, like I would want to physically get myself to places.
Yeah, I feel that, especially with your craft. That's where you're gonna. The live shows is what's gonna really do it for you.
Yeah, with good sound.
Yeah,
that's so important.
Yeah. I feel it, especially, I remember 55 fucking banging. Those fucking speakers sound like they were about to fucking bust, dude. I was like, all right.
Rattling.
Dude, you need to, just for posterity, you need to hear me on a shit sound system so you can know what I'm talking about. Oh, I am the least impressive thing if I'm on a crap system.
Yeah, I can believe it, though. I mean, that's something that you really got to get the fine detail of. Otherwise, it's just going to sound really, really fucking bassy the whole time.
Yeah, bassy or a lack of power.
Lack of power.
Yeah,
they turn down all the mids and shit.
Yeah, like I'll tell this to any sound guy. The way I can run my own sound, and what I do every time is I put the high, mid, and low all to 3 o'clock, and then turn the volume up a bit, and then compression if you've got it.
Right.
I guess we can kind of get into the actual topic of everything. And you know, it might differ with everybody in music. This term is going to differ, and it's kind of what everything on this cast at least is based around. What does the term leap mean to you? I mean, in detail, what does it actually mean to you as an artist yourself? We'll start with Jordan.
Leap to me, like you said earlier, all or nothing. Like, I mean, this is really it for me, man. Like we were talking about last night on the way to the show in Toledo. In and out, or all my life, in and out of phases, in and out of phases. The only thing that ever stuck with me is rap music. You know what I mean? I just like audio. I like rhyming. And I don't know. Like I can't work a job forever like that, man. I can't be someone else's slave. So leap to me is just like if I put my foot in the door, I'm bursting through it. Like I'm not gonna tiptoe around. I'm just gonna go. I'll drop everything I got in my life for music. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's where I'm at with leap.
I feel it. What about you, Saint? What does the word leap mean to you as an artist?
I mean, pretty much that leap of faith, man. That moment where you're finally at like, you know what? I'm comfortable enough. I think I can make the fucking dive to try and go all in, make all my time about this shit. I've been there. You know what I mean? It's a good fucking feeling. And sometimes things happen and you got to set back and regroup and hit it again. You know what I mean? That's the end goal.
Right. I feel that. What about you, Jake? Term leap.
Until tonight, it was something I only heard in gym class. No, there was Quantum Leap with Scott Bakula.
Yeah,
there was that. No, I mean it sounds like we all kind of have the same idea based off of the context you're using it in is just kind of the classic story of dropping everything you're doing, realizing it's not for you, and going as hardcore as possible into pursuing something that might lead to a joyful life.
Right. Right. I think we're all there. We have that passion for music. You know, it's in our hearts that way. Like, we go to an employer that don't give a fuck about us. Most of them don't. They're just there for the same money that we're there for, but they get paid more.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would we?
And they're giving you an amount based on what they think an hour of your life that you'll never get back is worth.
Yeah,
it's fucking crazy if you think about it that way. You're just like, wow,
dude.
it's fucking
That's how they value you, man.
Yeah.
That's what gets
I
me about it.
actually, I forget the name of the organization that sets the minimum wage, but at one job where I didn't do a whole lot all the time, I actually took the time to calculate the Department of Labor. I took the time to calculate what the monetary value they place on a human life. And it's based on how many 40-hour weeks you could work within your life.
Wow.
And it's a
sounds so
disgusting.
disgusting.
It's a disgusting number.
That was like the realization that I had, I think, and I've been using the term leap a lot lately. I think it's just coming off the last album and stuff. I'm finally starting to feel my shit again the way I used to when I thought I was at that point. I didn't have the budget for it, obviously, but I thought I was at that point, and it kind of came to me. What the fuck? Somebody said there's no sound. I think it's just their shit. But I came to that point though. I was sitting at work and I'm like, dude, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, I'm capable of so much more than this shit. And then I got some more shit to share later on after you know, our last question or whatever. I got a little consultation, just a new way to look at things to kind of present to you guys of how I got it, which I've never been given it that way. So it's like, wow, dude, that's a hell of a perspective. But the term leap though, it's like I said, it's giving up everything, but setting yourself up in a way. I mean, you can't be fully comfortable with doing it because you're going all out, but setting yourself up in a way to where you have a little bit to fall back on, just a little.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even, you know, it's not going to be no food, but you're going to be eating bologna for a little bit. Fucking, you know, ramen noodles. But I'll share that a little bit later on. We'll get into the next question. I'm going to try to go by script because I haven't done that in a while. I just kind of freeballed shows, and I finally got a script together. So happy for myself.
I didn't rehearse.
You didn't rehearse?
I did a couple times.
I did.
Looked in the mirror like, I got this.
Listen, let me ask you this, Murray.
But I guess we'll get on to the next question. And this is a good one too. I know for me it kind of holds dear because I would have told my younger self a lot of other shit, or a whole different path than what I actually went on. But what advice would you give to your younger self, the younger musician in you who first started out and was coming up, and even beyond that? We'll start with Jordan on this one. What advice would you give a younger you in music? Maybe just starting out, maybe middle of the line, you know?
Take it more serious and quit dicking the fuck off all the time, dude. Because I did a lot of that, bro. Honestly, I felt like I was ready to like get shit rolling at like 16, 17. It was just I got so wrapped up in this bullshit that I was doing. You know what I mean? That I just never sat down to write. But I would always listen to beats and I would always freestyle. I just never recorded myself doing it. I never wrote. You know what I mean? Just be patient with yourself too. That's another thing. I used to get mad at my notepad and shred it up. Wouldn't even have any words written on it. So be patient and quit bullshitting for real.
Yeah. What about you, Saint?
Oh, fuck. Fucking stop drinking, idiot.
That happens.
That shit fucking ruined a lot of things, and I'm finally fucking bouncing back from it.
Yeah, but I found out it's more about control. Like even last night and shit. Like it was more about just self-control with it. 'Cause I used to be that guy. Like we just talked about this. I used to be that guy. Like
right.
I'd fucking go pound shots of vodka. We'd sneak fucking vodka and water bottles into clubs all the time when we were
I
like,
did shit like that in school, in middle school and shit.
oh shit.
Like, it was real. It was a real problem early on in life. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was like, yeah, stop it. Because it eventually, like the whole drinking thing eventually became like my whole gimmick. Like I was the fucking drunk rapper.
Oh shit.
Like I got so drunk I fell off stage and I just so happened to land on my back while I was completely exhaled. So as I hit the ground, I didn't have any wind knocked out of me because it was already out of me. I was so fucking drunk I kept going. I didn't miss a fucking syllable. It was some weird shit. But like this shit's fucking embarrassing if you think about it. You know what I mean? Sure, it was like epic at the moment, but man, I was so drunk I fell off the fucking stage. Like it's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I treated it like a fucking gimmick, and I had to be that character at all times.
Right. I feel it.
And getting lost in persona is a real thing too.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Like you got to learn to separate what's like how music influences. Well, I'll get into that later. There's any time. I don't want to take up this segment.
Oh no, you're good. You're good, man. That's what it's about.
I was saying like how music influences kids, bro. They don't realize that some of these artists that they listen to, look up to, and admire don't really live that life. Like those are just feelings that they've taken or thoughts they've had and personified them and made them into something as an outlet, and they put it out in the radio ways. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand that all the time this dude isn't really out here busting these Glocks at whoever. Right. But that's the behavior they imitate because that's how they know this person that they idolize.
Right. Yep. And you think some of the stupid rappers are stupid? I heard a couple of them like graduated big schools with like 4.0s and fucking basketball scholarships and shit.
Just wanted to rap.
2 Chainz, man. He sounds dumb as shit on a record, but you know that motherfucker's smart as fuck in the back. Riff Raff's a fucking genius.
Yeah.
Like straight genius for what he does, and he knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
And he's so out of pocket with his style, dude. He always has been.
Yep.
He's wild.
That's those rappers who are playing the psychology game, really.
Well, it's building a brand. You know what I mean? That's exactly what that shit is. He's got a brand. He's easily recognizable. You know what I mean? He's got catchphrases on what he calls himself. You know what I mean? Like
right.
Cody High Roller.
Yeah.
Jake, what about you? What's your advice to your younger self as a musician?
I've thought about this before, and I always overthink it into no answer in the end. The only thing I would really do differently is I would have told myself to start beatboxing a lot earlier than I did, because I didn't know it existed, and the second I found out about it, I grabbed onto it.
Right.
So, time machine thing, I would have showed it to myself at an earlier age.
Right. Just kind of did more research on shit.
Yeah.
Whereas
I had more time and I would have go right out of high school. The second you get a license to drive, go to open mics. Don't wait until a fucking year to find out about it and get that shit started earlier. I don't know. I don't have a very good, deep answer for this one.
I feel you. I guess my advice to my younger self would probably be the whole drinking thing. Learn to handle it. Don't be pounding vodka to the point you're stumbling on stage and don't know how you performed the night before. That's me. I'm in moderation. Like the Hillsdale show we did together. I think I had like 2 beers before I went on stage, and that was it.
Yeah, that's what I did too.
And I found it kind of. It sounds like a shitty ordeal, but I found that when I drive to shows, when I drive myself, or drive the group, I'm a lot less tempted. Because I don't want that fucking DUI. And then at after parties, if I'm gonna do any kind of drinking, it's at the after party, and that's where I'm staying.
Yeah, bro, I'm working to get my license back, so
Yeah, I feel you. But I've just found that was and plus surrounding. I would tell them like surround yourself. Don't put friendship above business if you want to take the business side seriously. That's gonna fuck you in the end because not every one of your friends is actually your friend, and not everybody in business is actually there for the business.
Right.
And that's really what I affiliated with over those years. And like I was telling, I think I told Jordan. I think I told you saying about how my old group split. They were all on different shit, and it's just like I can't be around it. And it's just, yeah. But I guess it kind of takes us in. What steps do you think, in your mind, what steps do you have to think, or what's, God damn it, I'm tongue-tied. What steps do you have to take in your current situation musically to succeed as an artist and overcome that hump and take that leap and get to that point where, you know, it's fucking time? Jordan, we'll start with you.
I really don't know how to answer.
Kind of what's the business plan, I guess, behind everything? What's the actual like plan? Maybe you're not ready for that leap yet. But what's the actual plan leading up to that? Like, what in your mind, what do you have to do to achieve that? To get there, at least.
Stay focused, man. Because I have a tendency, for real, I just get distracted easy because I have so many ideas going on what I want to do next that I just get like subsumed or whatever into this one idea, and like it'll be merch for like a month, and I won't write, I won't even listen to beats, check them out, nothing, and I'll just get sucked into that one thing. You know what I mean? So I gotta, I don't know, prioritize my time better, stay focused, and like just, I don't know. Yeah, I really didn't know how to answer this one.
Yeah, I got you. It's pretty in depth.
Yeah, I didn't think about it. You know what I mean?
I'm putting y'all on the spot right now, I feel like. Lucas, actually, I'm gonna go to a comment before I get to you saying. Lucas said the biggest one for any artist is watch who you surround yourself with, because they reflect your reputation and ethics. And I feel that like guilty by association is a real fucking thing. That's why one of the biggest pet peeves, and I always tell people this, I've had to tell like artists pretty much every fucking week, you know, that I like their music. It's not, you know, rather it's not even my cup of tea. I like their grind. But one big thing is, you know, white people saying the N-word on social media. If you're an artist and doing that, you are fucking stupid. One, you're ignorant. And I'll get in their inboxes. I'm like, man, you understand? Like, I don't want to affiliate with that. Like, I don't even want you as my Facebook friend right now, or you know, Instagram friend. Like, because if people look at that, then they come back to me, and then I'm guilty by association,
right?
In some way, shape, or form. And you got to understand, if you make it in hip hop, cancel culture is a thing, and they go back on you.
Well, you know, you're when you're a guest in the house of hip hop, you need to make sure you wipe your fucking feet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
mm-hmm. Yep, and I have to remind them constantly. There's a couple of them that was like the same reminder that I'm like, man, I'm just gonna delete you. You can get mad all you want, but I'm trying to help you out.
Right.
And I don't want to be around that kind of ignorance. That's just one example. I'm not saying that's all of them, but you know, if I see some wild shit going down, you know, I'm gonna be like, hey, dude, what the fuck is up with you?
Right.
But yeah, same question to you. You know, what steps do you have to take? I mean, you got a lot of knowledge of the game. What steps do you have to take in your current situation to succeed as an artist, a group? You know, what other steps do you have?
I feel like at this point, what the steps that need to be taken is to create that one song that fucking catches, that resonates with people, and executing the correct campaign for it. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's the only way it can go up at this point. Everything's so heavily reliable on like the internet and shit, and you gotta get the shit out there. It's gotta catch just right. There's been so many people that have just fucking blown up because of a video they released, just fucking got to the right people, and it fucking changed their life.
Bro, the Island Boys, perfect example.
Right. Well,
half of TikTok.
I mean, even just the motherfucker dropping a music video, like what happened when Yellow Wolf popped the trunk, dude. Like right after that, he got his fucking one-way ticket to fucking Shady Aftermath. You know what I mean? Like,
got in the right ears.
Yeah.
Yep. Talking about networking.
Just getting out there and just fucking spreading like wildfire. That's the step that needs to happen.
Yep. I feel that completely. What about you, Jake? What steps do you have? I mean, I'm curious to hear this because you're kind of in a different path than you know, the typical rap artist. I mean, I'm not saying recording don't play a part, but your live show plays a really, really big part in what you do.
Yeah.
As far as the beatboxing part of it, not the guitar per se, But what steps do you have to take in order to succeed from your current situation in your mind?
I have one of the questions I keep getting is like, do you have a YouTube channel? The answer is yes.
Right.
But I have ideas for performance videos I want to do. Do you guys remember AOL music performances where it'd be like a band performing on stage but with no audience?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a studio setup room. I want to do stuff like that.
Okay.
But I have just and that's more for advertisement, so I can send videos to people like, this is what I do. It might be good for your show.
Right.
Honestly, it might add a certain level of diversity and class to it in a way. I have got to get merch made because
Yes.
I need to have something to sell and spread around the shows. Mainly those two things. And as far as recording is concerned, I need to find a less daunting mindset for recording because I've been not working on an album for months. And I think it's kind of a daunting task because it'd be my first album and I want to figure out, how do I present myself? Do I present myself in a broad spectrum, or do I show that I can tell a story? I completely have no clue what I'm doing with that. And I think, or I've been considering going the route that Cam does, where he just puts out like 5-song EPs all the time.
That's the move. That's the move right now, honestly.
It is.
Either that or just singles. Like when I feel work on one thing at a time, put another one out.
Consistency.
Yes, absolutely. Like, yeah, EPs like that. I've even thought about that with the Cody series and shit.
There's this chick, rapper. What the fuck is her name? Queen Herbie. She drops an EP every season and it's themed. You know what I mean? But she does like R&B, hip hop shit. It's real fucking dope. But she does it in like different seasons and it has its own like color patterns and shit. Like it's dope how she executes it.
Something that I would put into, your mind, maybe features. Because I think if you were to pitch the idea to lyricists who have, maybe even a little bit bigger of a name, say, hey, I want to beatbox something for you. Send them some quality shit. You could probably get some good features on your album to do verses.
Yeah, I mean, I've got an idea to do with Biokillers. I brought that up to them at the last Hillsdale show.
Mm-hmm. That'd be fucking dope.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do just straight beatbox or add some riffing onto it as well.
Yeah, Joe, whatever, dude. Let's get weird.
Yeah.
I heard some of their beats. A couple of weeks ago. Some of those, man. Just like styles and shit. Saint even said, he's like, dude, we're a weird fucking group.
We just make some weird off the wall shit that, just like, wow.
It hits.
Ain't no rules to art, man.
No, absolutely. And I'm embracing it more.
That's what's cool about music, dude, is like they haven't had it forever, because I didn't really listen to it like before I got locked up, but trap metal now is like a big ass thing now. Like everyone loves it because the whole goth scene's coming out of everybody and everyone's going through that. So you can just take music and mash it together like pop rap, country rap. You can just, I don't know, subgenres, man, is basically what I'm getting at. You can just be so creative with music.
Yeah.
Like nothing's stopping you. It's just not everything sounds good together, but you can try.
Right. Right. And if it don't hit,
dude, on one of our mixes, it was an accident, and we're actually dropping it the way it accidentally happened. Because I accidentally left a verse in there that I clipped out of the song, but it was still in the channel. And he put it in just to fuck around and sent it to me, and there was a part in it that actually hit. So it's like a brilliant blunder. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's the beauty, too, of knowing how to record yourself and shit, just coming up with, like, different shit that works that you didn't mean to work. But it's like, that's
like, I made this weird sound at this point when I was just talking, having a conversation while I was recording. I'm going to put it in a song, and it's going to be an ad-lib.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
No,
I didn't do that. I'm saying, like, people do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it could happen. It could just be an accident.
True. I wonder if that's how OJ the Juice Man got that. Hey, I was just rocking to his shit. I ain't even playing. I was just rocking to his shit. His shit still hits. If you're in that mood, OJ the Juice Man shit hits. I was like, dude, this takes me back to the club days, back when I couldn't even have a beer at a club because I was only like 17, but that was tight.
God, I'm old.
Hey, Chad ain't here, so you might be the oldest one in here right now.
Probably.
No. He's the grandfather of the group.
Do your imitation real quick. You had it last night, bro.
See, now what you're doing there is you don't want to be an asshole. You want to be.
Don't be a douchebag.
Don't be a douchebag. Basically, I've been doing this for years. Let me tell you where the real money's at. Weddings. That's where it comes into play. Like, you want to raise a family, you got to be playing weddings. That's it. That's how it is in the game. And I know you, Jake, you were talking about the noises you make with your mouth. That would go over well at a wedding, especially when the bride and the groom are consummating the marriage and they're making their own noises.
Consummate their marriage.
You could be right in there too. You could be making noises with them. They'll pay for that shit. Some people are weird.
You gotta get your license to
just anybody watching. I don't want to put words in his mouth. That is not something he said.
Allegedly.
You need to go get your license to fucking marry people, bro. I want to have you fucking beatbox my vows.
Yeah. Miss Heard, is it true that allegedly your career has taken a shit?
Wow.
Sorry. I don't know why. I've been on a fuck Amber Heard bit lately. So.
Well, yeah, I feel like we all have.
Yeah.
What was said
He took
last
a shit
night
on his pillow.
What?
Well, what was said last night we was playing air hockey? I forgot. I think Dustin, was it you or Dustin that said it?
Oh, I said it was me. I said, "Eat shit, Amber Heard."
That shit got intense as fuck. Wow, that was ironic. That shit got intense as fuck. Oh my god, I can't even. I guess I'll throw my piece in on this, and this is kind of what I was hitting towards earlier. What I heard this week, not having the day job and taking the leap. Because I have heard advice from another artist. He's out of Cincinnati. He's averaging about 510,000 views a video. If you look at his videos and kind of average them up, and he's like, what you need to do is this wasn't the guy who gave me the advice afterwards. This is like a couple months ago. He's like, what you need to do is take like a year off of work, focus on internet marketing. That's just what you do.
Yep.
And because that's where it's at, and that's all you do pretty much all day. Even if it's 8 to 10 hours a day, just focus on your internet marketing, do your weekends, whatever, shows. And but I took this to somebody for a consultation and I gave him what advice I got from that. And he's like, you're not wrong. And like, I think one of the big things is that 40-hour work week takes away, 40 to fucking like 80 for some people, just to have the budget to do it. But they kind of told me to look in this perspective. If you could bust that down to 20 to start, bust that down to a 20-hour work week, find a side hustle that don't take up that other 20 hours that you're making a lot of money on. And that would equal up to that work week or equal up to what you need for a budget. Fucking do it. And then they had me like sit down on paper and find out, what do I make in a day at work? And I think it was like, I don't make shit. My side hustle actually like pays almost more than, and it's legal, but it pays pretty much as much if I were to do it, all the time with the access that I have to it. It pays more than my fucking job. So I was like sitting here figuring shit out on paper, and it was like 80-something bucks a day. Think about this. Merchandise, it's usually costing you $8 to $12 a shirt. If you tried really hard, could you push, 10 shirts a day? If you tried really hard, somebody's going to buy it. Somebody out there is going to buy it if you're grinding like that. That's going to take a lot less time than, your 40 hours in a fucking week.
Right.
Doing something that you don't want to progress on. And, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just cutting it back to 20, still having that. Insurance is a whole nother thing, but there's, independent insurance out there too. It's a little more expensive, but still, You take that, you know, $80 you're making in a day. I can make $80 in a day. If I really, really fucking grind it out, I can make $80 5 days a week and still be making that 40-hour check, being able to do something that's going to progress my dream. See where I'm coming from with that?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I was kind of figuring shit out on paper. And like, let's say you want to put the grind in on weekends. If you really love it, you're grinding on the fucking weekend. And then in time, those paid shows are going to come. Paid shows all the time, guarantee. So then you're kind of set from there. I mean, it's easier said than done, obviously.
Right.
And I'm not going to share like the whole formula per se, but so I did pay for the consultation. But
Right.
It's kind of the psychology of it. I mean, you know, the 88, I think it was like $85 a day is what I make at my regular day job for 40 hours. I'd make like I won't give it all away, but like close to $900 with insurance and all that shit. I could pull $900, you know, off the music if I actually grinded with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big thing about taking that leap. I think that plays a major factor that people don't look at because we're so accustomed to working 40 hours doing shit we don't want to do. But it's just like society tells you to. So that's why I do it.
That it's hard to get rid of that stability. You know what I mean? Like you're guaranteed that money. That ain't going nowhere. That doesn't rely on others to fucking bite. You know what I'm saying?
Be fond of you. Just relies on the one person to hire you. Be like, all right, slave, or do whatever.
Yeah, that is.
Right.
And I'll treat you like shit and just.
Oh, no,
blow it
absolutely.
off, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, how are you supposed to, as an individual, like? There's millions of people that want to be business people, but they just can't because they work 40-hour weeks and they can. And it's another leap thing, another dedication thing. But like
that's what I'll get
40 hours is a lot of time, dude.
Yep.
And
you gotta wake up at a certain time.
You gotta go to sleep and you gotta eat. You gotta take care of yourself. You got appointments. You got all this other shit. If you got kids, you know what I mean? Like 40 hours eats up a big ass chunk of your week.
Yep.
So
it's like you gotta like basically survive on 3 hours of sleep if you want to grind for real.
That's
You gotta adjust to 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, that's what I've been.
I'm glad
That's
you
what
brought
I've been
it
doing
up.
since I've been out, man. I just now get sleep.
I'm glad you brought that up, that it's difficult to let go of that stability. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time, and it's fucking scary to think about.
It is, man. I made the leap a couple of times, you know, and things got hairy. So I was just like, you know, I'll go back into working a little bit here and there. And then, I don't know, it goes in phases with me. You know what I mean? I phase in and out of it depending on how I need to adapt to the situation. You know what I mean? I'm very spontaneous in life. It's a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean? Like I can't have everything fucking planned out because I know nothing is going to go according to plan. So why bother? You know what I mean? Just live it day by day and fucking make the best of it. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Although I do think I could easily work my 40 hours at Staples and put 40 hours in the same week into music if I could just get my fucking cocaine addiction started. What a project.
Yeah.
You want to talk about investing money into your productivity? Holy shit.
The only way you could go up from there is meth, I suppose. Just that, though.
Yeah, I think
If you get that step locked down, you don't have to stop.
Yeah. At least 3 days.
Yeah.
But I think the reason I really brought that up is I was really inspired by that number crunching though. And then it's like getting that plan down on paper. How are you going to make that fucking, you know, $80 a day, or you got to go higher than that, honestly, to make it music plus pay, you know, rent, or, you know, if you got kids or.
Dude, this is the most expensive hobby I've ever had in my life.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
Dude, in this room alone, I got over $10,000 worth of shit. Like, I'm in deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and being self-sufficient with it though, you're saving some of that money back too though.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
A lot of that money. I don't know how much I'd have paid for studio on, you know, and I don't even have like the library that you do, but I don't know how much I would have spent on studio if I was 14 years old and was like, hey, I'm gonna go to a studio for $50 an hour.
Oh, bro, I only went to the studio like once or twice, man. And the whole time I stood there and looked over the engineer's fucking shoulder while everybody else was over in the artist room getting fucked up. I was staring over that motherfucker's shoulders, just trying to figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
I have to be self-sufficient because I didn't like shit when Klepp and I first started doing fucking music, bro. There was no fucking YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There was no tutorials on the shit. Like we were doing everything wrong, but we were first somehow making it fucking work.
Yep.
And that's another thing is adapting to what you got and making the best out of it, man. We recorded our first 4 or 5 albums on an $8 computer mic, and motherfuckers were asking us what studio we recorded in. I'm like, that's fucking wow. It's a fucking Logitech computer mic, bro. We fucking somehow made it work. I
Yeah.
mean, doing everything wrong. Like instead of using compression, I would like hard limit the fucking verse to where everything's blown out, and then subtract it like 8 decibels. Yeah, dude. That was our version of compression. Kind of.
Please tell me you guys had like that Bob Barker skinny ass mic. Fucking, that's what I started out on.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Got the little stand. It's just a little circular fucking thing down bottom.
Yep. That's what I started out on. Fucking in my parents' fucking dining room.
Yeah. Well, actually, our first joint was the fucking the one boombox playing the CD of beats and recording it onto tape from the other boombox. That was the original shit.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that was real gutter. We recorded it in Klepp's dad's garage and shit. Oh, great acoustics. The reverb, chef's kiss.
No, then after that Bob Barker mic situation, I went out Hollywood on people and fucking went and took the mic off my rock band video game.
Nice.
Plugged that shit into the fucking USB. I actually recorded my song MILF on that.
Hell yeah.
And you'd never be able to tell just because I was like straight up. It was like YouTube U back in the day, though. It was more like, you know, I forgot what the fucking search, maybe like Ask Jeeves or whatever. Like, how do you mix?
Oh yeah.
Being self-sufficient, though, I think that's a big thing with the leap too. Like learning the shit yourself, because you're gonna save a lot of money rather than paying an engineer to sit there. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of those engineers around here, you're paying. You know, I know Toledo's average rate's like $40 an hour.
Yeah.
An hour, not a song, an hour.
Yeah. When I had a studio down in Florida, I was doing fucking 25 to 30, depending on how annoying the artist was.
Yeah. I recorded some bad ones.
I recorded these Haitian kids. They were fucking, it was 3 brothers. The youngest one, phenomenal rapper. The oldest brother, he's a musician, you can tell. They sounded great in Creole. But when they rapped in, you know, English and shit, it was like, all right, this is kind of lame. But middle brother, just straight trash.
Right.
And I would have to charge him extra because he was always doing the dumbest shit. He like told me to fucking, it was like a loop of the end of an Eminem track. So there was never a real official instrumental. It was just the tail end right before it faded out type shit looped, right? Yeah. And the shit that he found, the loop wasn't looped right, so it was off time. And this motherfucker, he does the hook, and then he tells me to mute the beat while he raps the verses. And I'm like, that's not how that works, bro. Like, you do that, you're not going to be on beat. He was like, yeah, I don't care. Like, what? Fuck, bro. That was the dumb shit I had to deal with. Like, they would bring people over in the studio and they'd have somebody in there fucking writing. I'm like, what are you doing? You guys should have had this shit figured out long before you were in the fucking studio. Like, you're getting charged for this time, motherfuckers. Like, the fuck out of here.
You would be surprised, though. I'm going to be honest. That's what I do. Is that surprising?
Mute the beat? You mute the beat?
Oh, no, I don't mute the beat. Fuck that.
I was like, what?
I'm talking about getting to the studio, then writing.
If I'm paying for fucking studio time, fuck no, I'm going to have that song ready, man. I'm getting my money for it. Getting my shit in.
I don't know. And maybe it's just like a bad habit that I developed from recording at home. But it's like Deadshot took me like 15 minutes to write, period.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I am with everything. You know what I mean? But that's home studio. Like, I ain't paying hourly for that shit. I can fucking take my time.
Right. I think, what was the other verse that I wrote? Fucking, what you gonna do or whatever. That was like a 5-minute verse, just fucking.
What you gonna do?
What?
Wow.
Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do?
Let's hear a
What you
beatbox.
gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, throw me a bone. Do it again.
Throw me up. Oh shit.
Make your noises, Jake. Talk your shit. If talking's what you want to call it.
We got a couple of comments from Lucas. Said I feel like I should be in here with all the merch talk. Shout out to Lucas, by the way. He did the new Cody merch.
Nice.
He did a really good job on it.
I have a shirt. It's dope. It's
Hell yeah. And then he was talking about selling merch, and he said, not when they shove us in a back room like last night, which was awkward.
Let me see if I can find our newest shirt.
Yeah, what was that? Listen, you'd think that they would want, like at 55, me and Lucas were talking about this. At 55, they had the merch right next to the show. Like, wouldn't that make more sense to have the merch right next to the show?
I think it was more of a capacity thing with the size of the building, maybe.
I mean, it did blow up quick.
Yes, it did. That show last night was it. There was a lot of people who came all at once, and I'm like, holy fuck.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was a good show last night. I heard at the end there was a little discrepancy, but whatever.
Oh, are you talking about the dude?
Dude who threw the mic or whatever.
I didn't mean to get myself wrapped up into that as hard as I did, but like if you cannot, I can't just sit by and not say anything if you're disrespecting somebody's fucking equipment that they're letting you use.
Right. Yeah, I wasn't there for that to like witness it or whatever. I was just trying to chill the situation, but I was like, man, no, just don't do that. Take it up professionally. Even in a group chat, it's like that's one big thing too. I think people don't take serious enough. You don't want to burn ties with any of your local people if you don't have to.
Yeah.
And that's one good way to fuck it, especially a DJ, because the DJ is gonna be the one pushing your shit, and DJs talk to other DJs.
Yeah, my only stance on it was what I was telling the guy was I explained like you disrespected somebody's equipment. That $500 they're letting you use that microphone. It's like $500 microphone, so you can sound good. And it belongs to them.
Right.
This will come up if I hear your name because one of my friends is trying to put together a show and your name comes up. That's coming up. I don't want my friends' equipment to be in jeopardy because you can't control your fucking temper.
Yeah, I feel it.
So I will recommend that they do not have you on a show.
Yep, I feel that.
And it fucks up the whole vibe of the show too, man. Like what? It just fucks up the energy.
Yeah, I've had my mic cut off before, like only twice, but it was for the same reason each time. I lost track of my set and they needed to move the show forward. Here's what you do. You notice that your mic is cut off. You put it on the stand. Go ask the sound guy what's going on. There's probably a good reason.
Yeah.
And if you do it like that, they'll be apologetic. Sorry, man. You were just kind of going over. We needed to go forward. Like, oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, no. I was going to add, too. That was another thing I noticed last night. There was another artist, the younger kid that was there last night. Drift Lord came on. He's like, man, my mic cut out a couple times during that. I'm kind of disappointed in my set. I said, it's not about that, though. It's how you move forward from that. You can earn a lot of fucking respect from people. Man. And I was kind of telling him in that group convo, I was like, hey, man, you need to calm it down. Like, what I would have done in that situation, I'd have been up on those fucking tables, wrapping the rest of my set on those tables to those people. Not throwing a mic down or throwing a fit. Or if they're like, hey, dude, we got to get on with the show. We're running behind. Go outside. Have faith in yourself. Show that you have faith in your product, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
It's like I guess that's something we can. That'd be an improv question. When the mic fucks up, when you have technical difficulties, how do you recover from it? And what impact does it have? What do you think, Jordan?
Wait, you just said when you throw them, like when incidents happen, is in throwing the mic?
Yeah. Or anything like that. Like, how would you react? Your mic gets cut off, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Just
Like
save your
you
stroke,
said,
like,
just be like, okay, just go up to the sound guy, like, yo, what's going on? Or like Jake said, my bad. Just go like, what's going on? He's probably got a logical explanation. Like he probably just didn't clip you on purpose just to clip you.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to like bug out about it. Just go see what's up before you throw a temper tantrum, and then still just don't. Just move on from it. There's gonna be another show.
right.
And like that's another thing, like how you said you would recommend that he doesn't get put on the set list. Like that's another thing. Like you just blew up. You blew up because your mic cut off, and then you just blew up an opportunity to be at another show because now they're afraid you're gonna damage their equipment.
And especially from somebody out of town, like not many people from out your way go to Toledo.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because that'd be somebody like he makes a connect out there. You hear the name through it from one of your boys, you know, promoting the event. You're like, dude, this guy threw a fucking mic at the show I was at.
Yeah.
So you kind of get yourself blacklisted.
Yeah.
What about
This
you?
is a
Stan?
bad look, dude.
How do you recover from that? You know, your mic cuts out. I know you've had a couple situations like that.
Oh man. I don't know. When it happens to me, it's usually some random weird shit that you're just like, really? And you just kind of got to fucking swallow your pride and fucking move on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Clep and I's very first show was the most embarrassing shit ever. We were fucking performing at a fucking local club here called the Roxy, and it was huge. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we were fucking killing it on stage, and the DJ cut us off because people weren't dancing. What the fuck? That was my first experience with performing ever. I got cut off by Missy Elliott. That puts a time frame on when this was.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So what do you got to do? Like make music like Pitbull to get a fucking show at the Roxy?
They're not around anymore. They sold alcohol to minors. Ha! Fuckers.
Isn't it coming back though? That's the Roxy Theater, right?
Oh, it's the Dawn Theater, but they're not going to be doing any type
Dude,
of
did they make a comedy movie about the Roxy? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Cheech and Chong.
No. I think there's one that's called
Night at the
Night at the Roxy. Yeah, that's it. Is that the same thing or no? Is that completely
No.
different?
No.
Completely different. There's
Actually, a lot of
Funny
rock.
movie though. That is a funny movie though.
What about you, Jake? Like, how would you kind of said how you would recover, but you know, I like if I would say if I was you personally with your craft especially, I would say go outside if you had to and finish your setup outside. People who are interested are going to go out.
Yeah, I've done that. The two times that I actually cut off my mic, that was my reaction was to go to the sound guy and ask what was going on. But there were times where it's cut out where you can tell it's like technical issues.
Right.
There was one time, and it depends on how far into my set I am. If I've gone long enough to where it's like it feels like a set, that happened one time. There was the mic started cutting out and it fizzled completely and was just done. I just acted like my set was over, so I took the mic away and I just yelled as loud as I can. Good. Thanks for listening, everybody. Cheers. You know, and then jumped off stage, and then checked with the sound guy, like, "Hey, everything all right?"
Right.
Keep the vibe good, dude.
Yeah.
I've been cut off. I haven't been cut off like recently. I guess the Morenci show when we went into our band stuff, I got cut off a little bit, but I was like, fuck it, you know, we're gonna finish this off. The sound just went. I don't know what the fuck happened. We finished a set off, which was easier as a band, but still, you know, when your shit's going out, your shit's going out, especially your vocals.
Yeah.
Playing and shit, and it's just like, I think the time before that, we traveled all the way to fucking Austin, Texas for South by Southwest. It was the first day we played at the Red Eyed Fly. I didn't know the promoters. The main promoter was from Cleveland, and it was EST, which was MGK's clique back then. Big deal, whatever. And our shit cut off because they were like, "Yeah, we cut you off at 10 minutes. You only had 10 minutes." I'm like, "Dude, I got 15." So I sat up there. The mic was still on. The fucking computer cut off. The DJ had walked away from the computer after cutting me off without putting any other music on. Fuck that, dude. I had a drummer at the time. I told my drummer, I'm like, "Hey, fuck this. We're going a cappella. You know this song, right?" "Yeah, I know that." "Let's go." Did the rest of the set.
What you gotta.
And you know what? That's the one thing from from the incident last night, or anybody who has that, like, oh, my mic cut off, do your best afterwards, because people sometimes analyze that shit, especially if it's that type of situation. People will respect you more for doing something like that, like standing up on the tables and rapping, whatever verses you had left, as long as it wasn't like fucking like 15 minutes, obviously.
Those little moments where you're personable is where you really connect with the fucking audience. You could take that little fuck up where they shut you off and turn it into this whole intimate thing with the fucking crowd without fucking the PA, any of that shit. You know what I mean? You could really fucking wow people doing that shit.
Yeah, me and Brody, actually, DJ Brody, he used to be my official DJ and stuff, which he DJs for me still quite a bit, but he can't travel as much as I want him to. We had a show in Morenci, and he was having technical difficulties with playing the music. I think something had froze up or something was going on. I don't know my DJ shit like that. But Tempest got on stage. You know Tempest, Jake, from the show last night.
Yeah.
Yep. He got on stage with me because we had a song together. And that's when everything went to shit. So he got the crowd involved with something, and we ended up making a song out of it. And Brody was playing some like loops in the background of it. And we came up with a song called The Water Made Me Do It out of it. Like literally a full song like the next fucking day. And people from that show remember that shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, it's how you catch yourself. You got to catch yourself in fucking improv. Learn how to improv. Don't throw a fucking baby fit about it. There's no reason for that. That's how you get blackballed.
Right.
If you get blackballed in your local scene, people from the local scene know people from other scenes. You're gonna get blackballed all the way down the line.
Right.
You crybaby antics. You can't do it.
And that's what I was getting at earlier. Is you're a brand. You got to fucking represent yourself as such.
Yep. That's the same thing as a business owner going online on a business page, like at a bar or whatever.
Oh God, I love when they clap back. Oh God, it's amazing.
I've seen some fucking crazy ones, dude. Like somebody give a bar a bad review and you fucking bitch, you came in here.
Yeah.
Oh my dude.
You came in here, pissed your pants.
Fucking 2 months later, they got a fucking closing sign on it.
Amber Heard over here.
Amber Heard is the modern day Gigi Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That's
She's a shit show. That's for sure.
Women wanted equality, so they got it. And inequality, there's always a piece of shit on the downside that comes with it. Oh shit. But yeah, I'm out of questions for the night, guys. That was actually a really good discussion, though. You guys got anything to add to the discussion tonight about Leap?
Go for it. That's all I gotta say. Believe that it's real, bro. Because most people just think that it's called a dream, that's all it is. Like, it's a dream until you make it real, so go for it.
I feel it. Anything from you, Saint?
Set goals. Start off with small, achievable ones. Set it a certain amount of time that you got to get the goals done, and you'll find yourself fucking just building.
Hell yeah.
Just by doing that. I learned that from my fucking great uncle. It was fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just setting yourself realistic goals and fucking keep building it up. That's what it's going to take.
Yep. I feel that. What about you, Jake?
As far as additions to the podcast?
Yeah.
I have a question that I'd like you guys' input on.
Okay. I'm down with that. I got time. I had just a little questions for the night.
No, this is not something I'm feeling right now, to be clear, but this is something that I think most musicians or artists or performers feel from time to time. When you start questioning whether you still want to do this or not, how do you cope with that?
I can start. You guys want me to start on that one?
Yeah, the questions usually come from you, so let's.
Okay.
Yeah,
I hate answering my own questions because I make them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but with that, I think that's why hiatuses exist. Like, I did my 3-year break because I had other priorities, and I knew like my heart wasn't going to be fully in it whatsoever. I had, a baby to raise. I had to figure out how to be a single dad, and do that, which was a fucking task within itself. You know, when you're new to it, you don't really have the guidance for it. But I think the hiatus part, you know, and writer's block is something that normally plays into that. Once you start coming, you know, like
that's for me.
once the ideas aren't hitting like they are, like me, you know, I write in spurts, but I figured out that's just the way I write. Back in the day, I would get like heavily ashamed about that. Like I felt like this ain't for me, and then it would come back, and it was like, oh wow, dude, like I feel good as new, and I think that's why hiatuses it like exists. Like I don't know, that's kind of what I tie in with it. If you ever feel that way, take a break and just see. You know, it's not great to take a break because you always got to stay consistent. But, you know, when you are feeling creative, get as much done as you can so you can stay consistent with that at least. Jordan, what about you?
Just like you were talking about writer's block and shit, I feel like at some point I just hit a fatigue. And I'm like, all right, dude, I can't. Like, do I really want to do this forever? And yeah, pretty much what you said, dude, about a hiatus and all that. Like, just take a break, because this is the only thing that's never changed for me, man, as I was saying earlier in the beginning of the podcast. So, like, I know that this is what I want to do, but sometimes I just get down on myself about it and get so fatigued with writing and just listening to the same 2-second audio clip over and over again. And I'm like, man. But then I think of the alternative, and later on I just drown that shit out and I'm back to it. Just comes in waves sometimes. I'm more creative than others sometimes.
Yeah, I go in spurts. I know I go in spurts like that though. Like, and I haven't had it recently.
Yeah.
I've been on fire recently, but I know I'll go through it again.
I just wrote 3-4 songs this week after not dropping nothing for like 3 months. I've been listening to beats and freestyling, like I said, but like writing something that I actually was like, all right, I'll record this. This is dope.
Right.
It's been months. And then this week I just woke up one morning and was like, all right, I'm back to it. Like, I feel good.
Yep. And I think I feel like that's for everybody though. Like, you always go through that shit. Like, whether it's something in your personal life that you have to value for a second a little bit more, which sucks, but it happens. Life happens. Let's be honest. I mean, that's going to happen. New occurrences are going to happen. That's just part of life. But I think it's more taking a hiatus to focus on that and making that hiatus enough to where you can get the enjoyment out of it again without having to focus on 70 other things, you know?
And that's a big thing, dude, is remembering why you started making music. Because it couldn't have always just been about the money. You know what I mean? Because at that point, it's just a job. And, like, obviously, you're tired of your job now.
Yeah. You treat it like a job.
It's got to be a passion to it, man.
Yeah, but I feel like it kind of ties in with a job though. Like, I don't hate my job. Don't get me wrong. I hate fucking working a job I don't want to do, but my job's good. They're good to me for what it is. And you're gonna have bad days though. You know, where you don't want to fucking talk to nobody. Like, why the fuck am I here? Which I still say that because I don't want to be in a fucking factory the rest of my life. That's not what I want to do. I don't want to retire in a factory with all these.
And that's also why we're here.
Huh?
I said that's also why we're here. We don't want to be factories or construction, whatever you do.
Retail, whatever the fuck. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to be there. But thing is, you're gonna have bad days. It's how you pick yourself up afterwards. And normally, those bad days inspire really good fucking music.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. Especially later when you understand why you had that bad day.
Yep.
Because right off rip, you kind of just get over it. At least that's for me. Like, I kind of just the feeling of whatever I'm going through dulls out, and then later, like a month or two, I'll be like, oh shit.
Yep. What about you, Saint? I'm curious to your answer on that shit.
You know, there's never been a time since I started music that I ever felt like I was going to give up on it. I don't know. I had a 3-year stint where I couldn't work on it as often as I wanted to because I was working 12-hour shifts 7 nights a week.
Whew.
Yeah. It was 84-hour weeks. So, you know, I would get it in where I could, and it was just very sporadic. And then actually shortly after, like right after that stint, I fucking quit working for people and moved down to South Florida to start a fucking record label with my boy Loke. And we were doing the damn thing for a little bit and shit fell apart. You know what I mean? I put too much trust into somebody's attention to leave into the business, and he had other plans. He wanted to go on tour. So
Right.
shit fell apart, and that was a risk I took,
Right.
But there's never been a time where, I mean, sure, I get where I'm burnt out on like recording and shit, but that's where I guess I am lucky because as soon as I get tired of doing the recording and writing process, I can just go make beats and still keep the creative, that's my way of getting anything emotional out. You know what I mean? Whatever I'm fucking feeling, I'm making a beat is probably the easiest way for me to get that shit out, honestly.
Right.
So,
And I feel like big occurrences though. I know I felt that when I found out I was having a kid.
right.
Like a big occurrence like that, you're like, oh shit. It just hits you like something's got to change. I don't know what, but something in there has to switch up.
Right.
And that was a hiatus thing, like getting ashamed about it almost, or like I said, like the writer's block. That's shaming as fuck when you get that. It's hard to pick yourself up, especially the first. I can do it now.
Sometimes it feels like the end of the world for me. I'm like, dude, am I ever gonna be able to do this again? Like, am I ever gonna be able to make what I consider art again?
Right.
You know what I mean?
And I learned the cure. I learned the cure for that though. Go out and live for a second and fucking. You'll find shit to write about. Just in
You
Mother
just need to
Nature.
forget that it's so serious for a minute.
Yeah.
Because once you start like in your mind, once you have the mindset like this is really what I'm doing, like I'm pursuing this, then it's a different ball game than just rapping with your friends, dude.
Well, I found the split. I found like a divide that you have to have too. When you're making the music, I fell into this little slump to where we were focusing on business. Like this is gonna hit. This is just gonna hit. This is industry. This is that type of shit that's going on right now. This is it, man. And it's like once you start going back to why you started, like you said, and having fun with it, but taking the business side seriously. I think that's what keeps nowadays what keeps me going. I can still have fun while record the songs that I want, record so many of them. Like I was I think I talked to a couple of you guys about it. Like Cody 1 was more like the underground sound. The next one's going to be more boom bap and samples, but I could split those up by the album because I like doing them all. I'm working on a fucking country album for God's sakes. Like,
Experiment, dude.
I'm having fun, and then I'm going to take the business side seriously. So you're getting, me. And I think that was one of the things back in the day. I was ashamed of it too. Like after looking back on it, like why did I focus on pleasing others?
Yeah, just make what you want to make, bro.
You're going to lose your passion.
Dude, listen.
Yeah.
I was watching TMZ a long time ago, and I think it was Post Malone about his Crocs was like, don't be afraid. He was talking about his own product. He's like, don't be afraid to market shit. Like calling his own product trash. But he was like, just don't be afraid to do it. Like, if you like it, go for it.
Yep.
Even if you don't like it, maybe go for it. Maybe someone else will.
At the end of the day, I think that's the biggest thing, though. If you're having fun recording your music and performing your music, fucking keep doing that. Don't buy into the bullshit.
Yeah, for sure. Keep that energy, dude.
And I think I was talking to Dustin about it. Once you get on tour and stuff, these bigger artists, once they start going bland with their shit. One artist that I followed, and I hate to say it now, but he was really dope back in the day, even in person, MGK. I mentioned that before. His shit back in the day when he was passionate compared to some of his newer rap shit, you could tell he lost passion in that. And it's like, you got to take that little break to yourself to go out. Don't follow the industry standard. Fuck that. If he were to put out albums like he did back in the day, I'd probably still listen. But you can tell it's watered down. He just got into the partying on the bus, and that's all he's seen every fucking day. Or, somebody from the label said, here, you got to make music this way. Don't ever let anybody to you.
Just make this song for the current wave.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For all the wrong reasons. Like,
well, that's exactly what they want. I got offered a record deal back in 2007, and that's exactly what they told me they wanted me to do was make music for fucking preteens. And I'm like, at the time I was in my early 20s, and I'm like, the only thing I have in common with a preteen is I once was one. Like, I didn't get along with those motherfuckers even when I was a preteen. Like,
yeah.
But like, even so, like, why would you, if that's not what you wanted to make songs about, like, that's the thing, like, why would you?
Yeah, I couldn't do it, man. I turned the shit down. Plus, the only 7 cents per album sold thing kind of fucking didn't sit right with me.
Yeah, That's a shit royalty. That's better than distro.
Well, yeah.
That ain't hard to beat though.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's
I do
something
all right.
though.
I do all right.
Jake, I like that question, man. You got any more? I'm locked.
Yeah, I was ill prepared for that question.
Yeah,
That was a
I
bomb.
guess I focus on the more emotional aspect of the whole lifestyle because I've not recently, but it happens kind of every now and then. I'll be playing guitar or practicing beatboxing and just look at the metronome app I've got going and the guitar I've got in my hand and my recording stuff and like just wonder what the fuck am I doing, you know? So
Don't ever doubt yourself on that. And I'm going to
Yeah,
tell you that person to person, artist to artist, especially with your talent, do not ever fucking. I'm rooting
Yeah, I
you
was
on
gonna say
here. Big
you have
time.
one of the most unique talents I've ever met personally out of anybody. I don't know
appreciate
anybody that can beatbox and sing and play guitar.
I appreciate that, man. It's
That's dope for real. I was so psyched to see that at 55 Below. You were the first performance too, weren't you?
I think so. It's just something that I've heard other people kind of have here and there, artists either that I listen to or that I know, and it's something that happened to me. So I figured maybe it happens to you guys every now and then.
It does.
Yeah, everybody.
Been
I
there.
feel
I've
like
been
all
there.
artists go through
Yeah.
that, dude.
You learn how to
Another-
cope in time. You learn how to cope though with that, like that feeling or
Yeah.
whatever. And it's like I said, like even a hiatus. Like, I don't
Yeah.
recommend it for the business aspect of things. That's
Or even just saying fuck it and go left field and make something completely different. You know?
Yeah.
Keep
All-
it fresh. I feel like that's the biggest thing is getting bored with your fucking self.
writing the same song all
Yeah.
the time.
Especially when you get into the double fucking decades of amount of time being in this fucking shit. Like I
See,
am.
I feel like, well, yeah, I feel like when you start to feel that way, you start to find out later, like if you, I mean, everybody bounces back, dude. I feel like you start to realize how resilient you really are with the music shit, dude.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I've been down so bad, I seriously, like when I first started too. So like I wouldn't be here today if I never started again, but I tried to quit like a billion times because I was like, dude, you suck. Your flow sucks. The beats you find on YouTube to listen to suck. You don't know what you're doing. And I'll just be down on myself. So I wouldn't do anything for the longest time. And I would just find myself freestyling while I was at the skate park or something.
Yeah.
I'll be like, man, I really like this, dude. Every time this beat kicks on, my body moves like this.
Well, that's
I
one
just
thing.
do
Music
it.
has always stuck with me throughout everything, dude. Like,
Yeah. My whole life.
Somehow it's just constant thing. I mean, my answer to the question is I it's like the hiatus thing. I just wait, and eventually I go back to looking at my guitar like a bag of dirt that needs to be slapped. You know.
All right.
it gets that way. Just stick with it as long as your heart's with it. Don't doubt yourself and don't make a fucking decision like right off the get because it fucking happens.
Yeah.
I've done that twice to where I'm like, nope, I'm done. Felt down on myself. This is my last show. Come to my last show. And I was, no, you're just marketing it that way. No, I feel like I'm done. And then all of a sudden, I'm right back to it. Have some kind of, when life events happen, I find that. I find that like,
You do that personal minute, dude.
Yeah, I think my first break or whatever the fuck you call it, I was gonna quit, and then my grandpa died, so I was like, I have no outlet. That's why I learned hip hop at though. Was like I went to counseling when I was in middle school, and she's like, you got to find an outlet. And I knew a rapper, and I'm like, well, 8 Mile was big at the time. I'm not gonna lie. So I went to him, how do you start this? He showed me how to write bars and shit, and then I always go back to that though. Is like I got help from that. That was what fucking and made me want to live. Like, and then I started getting more into it, and then down the line, having my kid, which is a good thing. I'm not down in that. When you have a kid and you have to take a break, I respect that. Whatever, you got to get your life on track, especially in my situation. Figuring out how to be a single dad, doing it right, and making sure he's living good. You know what I'm saying? If you got to take that break, something like that happens, take a break and fucking get right back to it.
Dude, Eminem took 4 years to drop one album.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It happens.
Yep. Just never get too down on yourself and never make that, decision like, because I did it like I said, I did it twice. The one I said was a break, but the one I said I'm just done. And publicity wise, it was just like I took a hit.
Yeah.
But I came back stronger.
Yeah. Sometimes it's hard to make that bounce back, though. You know what I mean? Like if you fall off and people forget about you and you got to start all over again, it's like, what?
That's partially the reason for my name change. I was like, people remember it, but for the wrong things too. So I was like, I'm all right. We're gonna go with something different. I know a lot better than what the stories entail from back then. Any more questions, Jake? I like that.
I got actually an important question. Well,
yes,
one that I consider to be important. So I personally feel that experimentation, no matter how deep you go with it, is an extremely important thing in the lifespan of an artist or performer. Joe Satriani, like we all know him as this incredible virtuosic guitar player. His album, I think it's called Engines of Creation, mostly is a techno album.
Nice.
It's still guitar centric, but the guitars are mixed in a whacked out way to where it just kind of adds to the beats and the sounds and stuff like that. Okay. For example, Throbbing Gristle, one of the original industrial groups, that shit was born out of experimentation and just disturbing noises and stuff like that, Sonic Youth, like they'll just jank the guitar strings to random notes that might not even be notes and try and write songs like that. What ways do you guys think you could just start experimenting, not just out of left field, just from an entirely other planet's worth of information to change up your sound and your flow and your ideas?
I want to be honest.
Music that you hate.
Kinda, yeah. Well, like the country route. That's why I took the country route. I'm not a big. I like country. Don't get me wrong. Not the new school type. A lot of my stuff's more new school because I can't sing like fucking. You know what I'm saying? I can't sing like Hank. I'm sorry. I'm just not. I don't have that voice. That's the type of country I'm really into. So a lot of my countryer shit sounds more mainstream. But that was the type of music I was making at that time also, so it fit. But just that's a genre I don't normally listen to. I listen to it more now that I'm, a father and shit, because obviously, you turn on the fucking radio station, you don't want them hearing too much. But I think it's just like a dad thing. I know a lot of dads like that. I was like, what the fuck? The country thing, even like my new album does not sound like any of my old shit whatsoever, because Jinx brought the underground sound to me, and I was like, I was a little bit inspired by that, but I'm like, I want to do it a little bit different with my style on this, because with the underground, it has a certain sound to it. It's like really deep, and fuck that, dude. I'm gonna spit some fucking chopper flow on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like mix it around, get my own sound. I found a really good producer for it, I think he produced the song with Walk on there too. Just way the fuck out of left field. A beat that I would have never fucking used back in the day. Back when I was writing more of the mainstream type of shit. And I think that's important. Like Saint says, it keeps it fresh. It gives you a new challenge, because once you feel, I was at that point where I felt like I was writing the same old song all the time. Like every song just kind of sounded the same. Like you're just trying to inspire the kids, or you know what I'm saying? Like I don't want to feel that way. When you're writing the same old song,
like you hit a glass ceiling.
Yeah. Yep. That's when it gets boring. That's when you get to that point of like, should I really be doing this? Because I'm saying the same shit.
Right.
And I feel like that's important. And one person I want to bring up on that, he was supposed to join tonight. I think he is sleeping because he went to a concert last night, but he had a really long night. But Alex, who is on the cast quite a bit, he used to be industrial, dude. If you saw pictures of Alex back in the day and you talked to him on the stream, I think you were here that night he was on, Jake. Alex Wargood?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you saw him back in the day, you would not even think that's him. And now he's playing a fucking banjo. Like, I think that's important in keeping it fresh. I think it's kind of a proven thing.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What about you, Jordan?
Well, okay, so I said listen to music that you don't like or whatever because I was reading this death metal magazine. I can't remember what it's called, and I can't remember who said it about or who said it, but they said it about Rings of Saturn and death metal in general. They said they don't listen to death metal because they make it. And they don't, and when people make music that they listen to too much, they tend to start to sound like their favorite artists.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's how I started rap for real, because I started by rapping like Hobson. Like I developed his flow because I just listened to him all the time, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And now I do something completely different now. Because I just would switch it up. I would just try things. I'd be like, oh, this syllable patterning sounds nice.
Yeah.
I like to do it like this.
I don't know. I agree and disagree with that though, because I've developed different flows by listening to different people a lot.
Oh,
Like,
well, yeah, I'm not saying like
my flow, but that's like who I used to listen to a lot, or like Hobson. You know, I get a little bit of inspiration from that, a little bit of, you know what I'm saying. That's why I like flows of my songs.
Yeah, that's how I can't remember who said it. Sorry, dude. I just smoked that blunt. I can't remember who said it, man. And now I can't even remember what they said because I'm trying to remember who said it. Never mind. Sorry.
T-Jackson us right now. This motherfucker is T-Jackson us right now, Jake.
What?
He's T-Jackson us.
Oh, shit.
Oh, jeez.
Getting way high.
No, I can't remember. Pass. Sorry.
What about you, say?
Can you repeat the question?
In a more simplistic wording, what ways do you think you could experiment on your ideas in your sounds to drive them in directions other than what you would normally go in?
I've actually been doing a lot of that with my solo work as of recent. My last album, it's been 3 or 4 years now, but I went out of left field and I was strictly known for just doing hip hop shit. I fucking halfway through the album, I cut off and do like blues shit and fucking rock shit and some fucking pop shit. Right now, I'm kind of, because of life situations, I'm kind of just doing like a fucking pop / R&B album right now, just like an EP or something. Like I live for fucking experimenting with music. Like that's my shit.
I feel it. Sorry, Jake. I just messaged you.
Yeah, I saw that.
Kind of got a new idea from all this. I dig this. I dig this a lot. You got any more? You're actually like, you're killing it with the questions right now. I ran dry. You fucking.
He's always moist with questions.
Yeah,
I'm down with it. I'm fully down.
He's got me thinking over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are.
They're important questions, though, for real.
I'm glad that they're being that effective. I don't have any. Just these are questions that popped up while I was just sitting here. I don't have them like written out or anything.
Hell yeah. I had them written out, but my question's like, motherfucker.
Yours are more directed, though. Like yours, there's a theme to it.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yo. I just got a new idea for the coming weeks, so we will discuss afterwards. I'm going to conclude the night tonight, though. It is getting a little late. I stayed up pretty late last night and had to be up early with the little guys, so I'm pretty we're going to go around the clock like we normally do. We're going to start with Jordan. Let us know what you got going on musically and tell people where to check you out.
I got a EP coming out. I'm not going to say the name yet. I'm not going to say too much about it, like I said in the beginning.
I might be out there.
Yeah. If you hurry the fuck up. I'm just messing with you.
Yeah.
But, you can find me really anywhere. You can find hallowGrave really anywhere. Spotify, Apple Music. You can use this as a sound on TikTok. Anywhere. Just search hallowGrave with $, all one word. That's all I got.
Hell yeah. Saint, tell people where to check you guys out at, man.
All right, you can check us out at www.biokillaz.com with an AZ. We don't do that ER shit. Fuck out of here. You could also go to saintsinna.com. It'll take you to my solo shit. We're on Spotify. We're on iTunes, all that happy horse shit. We're everywhere. Even on TikTok, I found out. That's cool, I guess. But yeah, man. What we're working on right now, we got some albums in the works. I've got multiple albums in the works. Got a couple music videos on the way. One that's almost wrapped up. I got another one that I'm still plotting out the rest of the way, and then we'll move on to the next album. So.
And might I add, Cats in the Cradle is on repeat in my car.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. That album has been sitting in my car's CD player. I switched it out finally, but it was a good 3 or 4 straight weeks of just bio.
Hey, I appreciate that shit, guys. The next shit we've already got recorded. Like, we got enough songs for 2 more albums right now, like, realistically. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
It's just dividing them up how we want, and then we're gonna have a couple more songs that we're working on to kind of fucking tie the album to its theme, because it's a trilogy. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be dope.
Hell yeah. Jake, what you got going on? Got any shows coming?
Yeah, I'm playing Morenci this Saturday with you and some other.
That's not that. That's next month, ain't it?
It's, May 7th, right?
Is it May 7th? No, that's the Rock. You're doing the Rock show that day. Pretty sure.
Oh.
I'm on for the 21st.
Okay. Well, I think I'm doing both of those.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, we'll see if I remember. Yeah, I'm doing both of those.
Show up to the wrong event at the wrong date.
So I'm doing Morenci on the 7th, and then also Morenci again on the 21st.
Fuck yeah.
And then
Are you doing hills, though?
Very slowly working on new material for the second Beatbox Metal EP. And I'll be working on some stuff with Kool-Aid Cam. We've got a project we're working on. Yeah, just honing my ideas.
I feel you. Cody 2 is on the way. We have a special announcement May 21st for everybody. And I'm working on a country album with Joe Lewis, who's been on the cast before. We're supposed to be starting work on that here pretty soon. So, yeah. But yeah, that's been the Cody Lab podcast for the night. If you guys all want to wave goodbye to the camera, I'll play the really cool outro that I made. Thanks for joining, guys. And we'll be back on next Friday. We got a theme next Friday that I just came up with. So if you guys want to join back in, just fucking get a hold of me, and have a good night, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
Never stop, never settle. I got never stop, never settle. I got Henny all in my cup. I'm on top, I'm on a level, yeah. I'm trying to get to the back. Got it on lock, got it on smash, yeah.